All right, we got a little Bears free agency mailbag here. Harrison Graham here on Chicago Bears Now. From Nick Rimus, do we have room for Keenan Allen or Cooper Kupp cap-wise? We're filming this Monday evening at about 6 o'clock Central. Don't know exactly what the cap number is going to be in terms of how much cap space the Bears have after the signings they made on Monday. We may not know that until Wednesday when signings become official to see how the Bears structure these contracts of Grady Jarrett, Dayo Adengbo, and obviously Drew Dahlman as well. As far as Kupp or Keenan go, just in terms of who I'd rather have, it's kind of a pick your poison. I think Keenan Allen's the better receiving receiver, route runner at this point. I think Cooper Kupp's the better blocker. You may value that more as a wide receiver 3 in this offense. Ben Johnson, what's a phrase he used at the combine? No block, no rock. So you got to be a willing blocker at the receiver position. He's one of the better ones in the league. He could be cheaper than Keenan Allen as well. So certainly an interesting thought to bring him in. Would you sign Cooper Kupp? Type Y for yes or type in for no. If it's cheap enough, less than $10 million, I'd be in. But if he costs more than that, which he might based on what the receiver market's been, I think that's a little too rich. From Brady Smith, what are the odds the Bears draft Jeanty since they have their O-line? They continue to go up. I definitely think it's possible. Now, will Jeanty make it to 10? That remains to be seen. But if he's there, I think he's firmly in the mix. I think it's a BPA situation. You could still take Will Campbell or Armand Mimbu. You could take Mason Graham if he falls to 10. You could trade down. So the Bears have options. They have flexibility, and that's a very good thing. Joey Louise, excuse me, odds we re-sign Kyler Gordon or Keenan Allen. Well, Gordon's under contract, so that would be an extension. I still think that's greater than 50-50 that happens, at least before week 1. Keenan Allen, I don't know. The longer it goes on, maybe that price comes down. Do the odds increase? But I'd give it like a 10% chance. I don't think it's that likely. I wouldn't be shocked if he went back to the Chargers or ended up with the Raiders in Vegas. They could use a receiver next to Brock Bowers at tight end. Walter Caldwell, what contracts getting restructured? The ones to look at are the big ones. So you could restructure DJ Moore to free up some cap. You could do Montez Sweat or Jalen Johnson as well. You only want to restructure guys that you are 100% confident are going to be here for the foreseeable future. Like if there's even an inkling in the back of your mind that he could be a cut or trade candidate a year from now, then you don't want to restructure that player. So I feel like those 3 guys will be here, so you could do 1 or 2 of those guys, but you don't want to overdo it and kick too much money down the road. Mike Nintendo Master, what is a big draft focus now? I'm getting a running back. I still think Trench's depth, adding edge, defensive tackle, another offensive lineman is going to be there, but getting a running back to pair with DeAndre Swift. Safety is a position I think we need to keep an eye on. Tight end as well, but I want to pair a big-time player with DeAndre Swift. That's what I'm looking at if I'm Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson. What you should be looking at is getting yourself an FGB t-shirt at chatsports.com/FGB. Link is in the comments and in the description. Get yourself an FGB t-shirt today if you want to represent this channel. If you just hate the Packers, well, FGB. Do you think we will see Tim Patrick or Khalif Raymond today or any wide receiver at that? We'll see. I could see them signing a cheap wide receiver 3, like if Patrick's at a reasonable price, knows the system, good blocker, could certainly see that. Khalif Raymond, more of a punt returner, gadget guy, that could be an option as well. Excuse me. All right, Eamon Elias, would you rather take Jalon Walker, James Pearce, or Mykel Williams at 10? I think James Pearce, there's a lot of question marks there right now, so I'm not sure I'd take him at 10. I love the talent, but I wish I knew more about the off-the-field stuff. I think Mykel Williams is a better scheme fit. I think Jalon Walker is a little more polished. So if you told me Jalon Walker could fit well in this scheme, I'd say Jalon Walker. If not, I'd say Mykel Williams. Kiddis, thoughts on Jack Sawyer in the second? Like it. I'd like it even better if you traded down a little further in the second round from one of your picks at 39 or 41, but I think that's in the window of when he could go, so I'd be fine with it with one of those picks. But if you got him in the 50s, that'd be even better. Skepter, I know we don't know the exact numbers, but did the Bears get some more money by cutting Zacch Pickens and Tyler Scott? Although I think we need to keep Scott for one more year. Yeah, but it's minuscule. It's like $1.5 million. It wouldn't be anything crazy. Pickens might get you a little bit more because he was a third-round pick, but you're talking about, you're not talking about significant money. Like Ryan Bates would save you $4 million. Like that could be a cut to monitor in the next couple days potentially. John Dorman, thoughts on drafting Tai Felton and Judkins, my two favorite players in the draft. I'm a big Judkins fan. If you got him at 39 or 41 to pair with DeAndre Swift, I would absolutely love that. 3-down back, physical, decisive runner, good hands. I think he's pretty damn good. Jasa, what do you think in which rounds the Bears will draft a tight end? I would guess day 3. Maybe the 3rd round, though. Into day 2 could be a possibility, but if I had to guess, I would say day 3. 5th round, maybe. Mr. C, what's up with Amari Cooper? I'll say this about Amari Cooper in terms of what it could look like in a potential Ben Johnson offense. He does not block. He is not a blocker. Can Ben Johnson get him to block a little? Is he okay with his number 3 receiver not blocking? I don't think Amari Cooper's a fit here. Ivan Mitchell, do you think the Bears should get Von Miller? If he got really cheap and just was a situational pass rusher for like $5-6 million, yeah, sure. I feel like some team, guys like that with that name recognition still typically get a decent payday. But if him or Joey Bosa got cheap enough and they were just a situational pass rusher, yeah, I'd absolutely be open to that. Way too early Bears record prediction after day 1 of free agency. Without seeing the schedule, without having the draft, I don't know, 10-7. Big Pops, what receiver do you want? Well, it all depends on price, but if you go on the cheaper end, I'd say either Josh Reynolds or Tim Patrick. They both know the system. They've both been productive with Ben Johnson, and they're both willing blockers. I would say one of those two players. Noah Artis, landing spots for Tevin. I wonder, do the Texans, I know they trade Laramie Tunsil, different position, but they got to get something on their offensive line. They also cut Shaq Mason, so I think the Texans. I saw Cincinnati was mentioned. That'd be an interesting fit. He's kind of a mauler, so he could fit what they like to do. Do the Lions sign him? If they don't bring back Kevin Zeitler, that would be interesting. Just to throw out a few teams. Minnesota, if they don't get Will Fries, they've been linked to him. Maybe. Knicks, should we re-sign Keenan, draft Jeanty, then draft Wyatt Milam in the 2nd and 3rd round, give competition with Braxton Jones? I think Milam's a guard. He's got 32-inch arms. It's one thing if you're Will Campbell and you're an athletic freak and you've been a 3-year starter in the SEC for LSU. That's one thing. I don't think Milam's athletic enough to overcome his short arms at tackle. I think he's a good guard, could even be a developmental center, but I don't think that's the Braxton Jones competition you're looking for. Now, I'm not opposed to drafting him. I just don't think he's an NFL left tackle. Subscribe to the channel. We got a few more questions we will get to in a moment. We got you covered throughout NFL free agency. The draft is just around the corner as well. Full coverage all off-season long. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. We got you guys covered here on Bears Now.